Hello everyone, it's me Ahmed Radwan, and today we are going to continue with PHP from scratch, and we are going to take a new lesson about databases and especially MySQL or MySQL, and this is going to be part 1. In most websites you somehow need to use database to store the user information or even your site information or information about your items you are selling in your website. So dealing with databases is very essential, very important in PHP. And if you have followed my instructions in the first and second tutorials of this series, you should have already installed PHP and MySQL as well, and also you have installed PHP MyAdmin, which is a management tool that will let you manage MySQL. So in order to get this tool, PHP MyAdmin, I open browser like that, then I go to localhost, and this is the one, localhost PHP MyAdmin. This is the tool that we are going to use, it's actually widely used to manage MySQL or MySQL. There are other kinds of databases, by the way. There is SQL, there is SQL of Microsoft, and there is Oracle of Sun, but the most commonly used with PHP is MySQL, because it's very stable, very strong, and also it's free, and as you know, we all like it free. So once you open this page, here on the left hand you will find some databases already created. This one is a database, as you see here when I click on it. The database is just a container that has tables. So basically, what is the database? Just a container. Look at it as a container that has tables, and as you see here, I have tables under the database. There is another one here, MySQL. This one are created by MySQL and PHP, by WAMP exactly, okay, to manage the MySQL engine itself. So I haven't created those. Now I want to, the first step is to create a database. In order to do that, you go home here and you choose the name of the database. So I may call this one, I will call it users, for example, users, and it's just a name, and I just click create here, and here we go. The database has been created, and this is the command that, or the statement that has been used to create the database. I will copy this statement here just for you to see it, and as you see, it's very simple. Create database and the name of the database and the semicolon. If I want to drop this database, the database has nothing yet, has no tables, nothing, so I want to delete it. Okay, all what I have to do here is just click drop, and it asks me, are you sure this will destroy the database, and it gives you the name of the database. So I say yes, I want to destroy it. So now the database has disappeared from the left panel. If I want to create it again, I can use the same steps, but this is what I don't want. I want to use this statement to create the database, just to let you know something new. So I will go here to SQL or SQL and just copy, or can type, of course, create database, and give it the name users and semicolon. Then let's go and as you see, the database has been created. Now, after creating the database, as I said, it's just a container. I need to create some tables in this database. So I will imagine that I want to have a table that has some information about my visitors or about the website visitors. I want them to sign in, or I want to collect some information about visitors. So I have to give the table a name here, so I will call it info for information. And here it asks me how many fields you want. I want a field for first name and another for second name, or last name, and one for the address, and another one for the birth date, and that's it. But before I do that, also I will need a field for something like serial number or index number. This field should be unique and just like it's going to be a serial number, so I have to add this as well. So instead of 4, I will add 5 fields, and click go. Once you click go, it will take you to this interface, and it will ask you to fill up the information of the table you want to create. First thing, I want the serial number, or we call it the ID here. Always, it's a good habit to, or good or best practice, to place the ID at the beginning. It can be placed anywhere here, but it's good practice to place it at the beginning of the table. So it's going to be ID like that, and it's going to be integer. The ID is just a serial number, and I don't have to give it a length or a value here. I will show you that later. And here, the most important is to make sure this is going to be primary. Primary means it's a primary key, it cannot be repeated, and this is the key for this table. If I say I want the ID number 25, for example, so it should be unique ID. Unique ID. There, two visitors cannot have the same ID. I hope that is clear. The second field I want is the first name of the visitor or the client. So I have to type it like this in camel casing file. It's not a must. It's good or best practice. First, like that, and name. This is called camel casing. Every word starts with capital letters and they are joined, no spaces, no underscore. It's not a must to be done like that. It's not a must to be done like that. It's just good practice. Here, this is going to be varchar, because the name is going to not integer, so it should be varchar. So I choose this one. I choose varchar, by the way, when I don't want more than 256 characters, only up to 256 characters. It's suitable for names, address, but it's not suitable for article. Right? Article is going to be text. Here I have to use text. If it's something like 1,000 byte article, I have to use text here. But for this one, I'm going to use varchar. And this is going to be, I have to put a length for this field. So I'm guessing that the first name shouldn't be more than 10 characters. So I will just type 10. The same for the second name. The same, or for the last name. Last, also camel casing, last and name. And it's going to be varchar as well. And it's going to be also 10. I'm guessing last name cannot be more than 10. If you see it can be more than 10, you just change this value later. It's up to you. Here I want the address, and it's not camel casing because it's only one word. So, and this is going to be also vaca, and I'm guessing the address should not be more than 100 character. This is my guess about it. And finally I want the birth date for this user. So I will say birth date and this camel casing, and the type of this one is going to be date. As you see here, PHP, my admin, is trying to give me the most commonly used type: integer, vaca, text for articles or blogs, you have to use this one, and the date. This is the most commonly used at the top. You can also reach them here. This is the date again, under the date and time, also vaca here, and so on. So here, this is the date. I don't need to have any value for this date. So values or length values for vaca. Here the search engine or the storage engine, the most commonly used, which is the default for storage engine, is going to be MYSQL. If you want more information about it, you can just go to MySQL website. Here is the URL, I think you can see it. Here is the URL, and here is the information about this storage engine. This is the most commonly used with MySQL. So I will choose MySQL, and here it asks me at the end, if I forgot to add one field, I can just click this one, add one field, and go. But if I want to save at this level, that's fine. I will save here. Okay, as you see, and I got green label, means table users info has been created. It has created the table, and also it shows me the command, the SQL or MySQL statement that's used to create this table. As you see here, as before, you can just drop or delete this table and use this statement again in SQL here to create it. If you want to do it this way, you can. I want to show you this one. If you want to do here, I will say drop, and this time it will ask me to drop what? To drop the table info, not the database. So I will say yes. Now as you see, the user has 0, means no table. I use SQL, then paste the same thing I have, and here we go. As you see here, it's telling me 1. 1 means I have one table, and this table is info. And if you click on the info here, you will see the schema of this table, the headers. Okay. I hope that was fine and helpful for you, and thank you very much for watching my video, and this is going to be continued later. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye.